Hello there and welcome back. So in this video we are going to take a look at how we can provide access to our cluster for a non-admin user, so to speak. Let's say you have like a helpdesk user and you want to grant that helpdesk user access to your API, but only to basically get, list, or watch resources. So you don't want them to be able to break anything. And I would like to show you the process. So first, we are going to use the add user helpdesk and add user helpdesk. And then the pass wd helpdesk and helpdesk. Good, that is going to be our user. And if we switch to the helpdesk user and check, we are at the helpdesk user's home folder. Now we will have to create a key for this user, and we are going to call this helpdesk.key. And we need the openSSL command with the yum install. So after the openSSL is installed, we can generate the key. And then we have to create the certificate signing request. And this certificate signing request is going to be basically included in the certificate. And this is going to be the subject of this request. And once this is done, I'm going to copy the PKI folder's content to my local folder from the default Kubernetes folder. So that way, this is how the content of my root folder looks like. Here we have the key and the CSR. Once we have this all in place, we can issue the following command and basically sign the request or the key with the CA cert. And technically, with this, we have created the CSRT. And then we can create our role binding. And this is where we are going to tell the API that this user, helpdesk user, is going to be bound to the helpdesk user role. And we call this role binding helpdesk RB. And in the helpdesk role, we want to provide access to the namespace operations, and we want to allow get, list, and watch verbs. And we also want access to the deployments and the pods. Now we can use the apply for the role binding. Oh, and kubectl create namespace operations. And then apply it. Role bindings, operations, namespace, operations. Good. Then we have applied it, created the role binding and the role. So once this is done, we have to generate our kubeconfig for the helpdesk user, and we have to adjust the parameters. So basically, this is the command that you can use to adjust the server for the helpdesk kubeconfig. If we take a look at it, you can see that this is the attribute that was set. And then we can specify the keys for the user that we just generated. And basically, this is going to be that section. Now we can also specify the context. So let's right click and paste. And after that, we can set or switch the context. And then we can use the final command to set the CA in the kubeconfig. So now if we take a look at the config, we say that this is the certificate authority. This is needed because if you don't specify it, then it will say that the kubectl will say that it's a self-signed certificate and I have no idea who signed it. So that's basically the way to do it. Now we can create our .cube folder in the home of the helpdesk user, move everything helpdesk related to that folder. Then we can rename the helpdesk.cube config to simply config, and then we can use the chown to adjust the permissions, and then switch to the helpdesk user, and we can use the kubectl get pods -o wide. Hold on, one thing. So ping Kate's master. Good. I will have to adjust the IP address in the kube config because the template is from the MacBook that I'm using. So now we should be able to get the pods. And as you can see, we successfully connected. V equals 6. And here you can see that this is working properly. We can get the deployments. And if we create a deployment where the name is Nginx and the image is Nginx stable, in the namespace operations, image, and switch back to the helpdesk user, we should be able to see the pods and the namespaces. Sorry, deployments. So technically this is all I wanted to show you. See you in the next one.